Razor fans, we say good morning as well. I'm going to put on my glasses because God knows I can't read the sidebar over here. We got RC monitoring it, and Razor and I on game. Razor is going to be in about 10 minutes or so, maybe about 8 minutes on NBC. They start a little later. So first of all, good morning, Razor. What's going on today, bud?
Not much. A couple soccer games this morning already. Got the yard picked up a little bit, and nice Sunday afternoon, getting stuff done.
The yard. What was
Just
what was the yard?
Little spring cleanup. Lots of sticks, lots of debris. So got that cleaned up, ready for a grass cut. Now we're getting close.
So, how would you describe your yard skills?
My yard skills are fine. I do it all myself. I don't have, I'll mulch myself. We got a lot of mulch.
Yep.
I cut the grass myself, and
Me too.
my yard, similar. I need my backyard topsoiled. At some point, it's a little dicey with the dog and with the kids and with the lack of sun.
Right.
So I'm on the fence whether I'm doing that this spring and have it nice for the summer, but I know it's better to do it in the fall. So
I'm in the exact same spot, and I found a guy. My guy's going to be doing because I do all my own yard work as well. Not the. I mean, I do all the cutting, the mulching. I use the mulching as a workout type day.
Yeah, it's a long day, that mulch. Wheelbarrows.
I curse it. Every
yeah,
day I do it. I
know.
curse it. I do it. But that's right there. Let me tell you something. That's hockey guys for you. We don't get anybody to come do it. We do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's why you and I get along so long.
I think so.
So, all right. So the live stream is up. Let's take a look. We got a lot of people joining us already. I can't completely tell because I'm going back and forth.
It's just a lot of people.
There's just a lot of people. See, that to me, all the analytics bullshit in the world doesn't.
That's right.
A lot of people is more relevant and accurate, Razor, than analytics.
I agree.
Don't you?
I'm more of that kind of guy.
How you feeling, man, about this Bruins team heading into this game?
This is a good one. This is as much of a measuring stick game as they've had. I think up until now, we're talking about some games good, some games bad, trying to figure out what they are, their identity. I think we saw this week, now that there's a deadline, and with the deadline, the trades, the moves they made, they're settling in. They had a good week, and now they're taking on a team that they've played well against this year, but a team that's expected to. And Zdeno Chara is not in, if you're seeing that on NBC right now. Big Z's out. So it just feels like now it's a bit of a playoff run with these teams. You're looking up. You have an opportunity this week to make some hay and climb up the standings. So I'm not sure where they're at, but I feel like this will be a game where you look at, all right, this was a real hockey game. This wasn't just a COVID dog day game.
Yeah, 5-7, injuries, all that stuff.
Yeah, like last Sunday was a wipeout game. That was irrelevant. That's not that was what it was. This one feels much different going into it.
Yeah, I agree. Now, obviously, we don't know what the hell's going to happen. Ovechkin is hungry, man.
Oh man, he's great.
You want to talk about hunger? I mean, he just wants to keep climbing the list.
Yeah,
we've talked before. I'll ask you again. Is he the greatest goal scorer in hockey?
Yeah.
In history, and not to take anything away from that guy 99.
And you don't take anything. Wayne would probably be the first one to tell you that he never thought of himself as a great goal scorer. Not like a Mike Bossy that everybody like Mike Bossy's on the list. But he's the greatest that any of those guys talk about. Mike Bossy's the greatest goal scorer that played in that era. When you talk to the old guys that played against Wayne Gretzky, that played against Mario Lemieux, Mike Bossy was the greatest goal scorer, and I mean, Ovi's going to catch Gretzky. He's going to catch him, and even if he doesn't, I still think in the era that this guy played in the dead puck 2004, 2005, 2007, 2008, that he has been able to do this as long as he has. He's going to have to be the greatest goal scorer. in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy, I mean, you can make the argument either way. It's one of those great conversations.
Yes.
Iris, he's gotten better with time as well in many ways. He had a little dip in his career, in the sense when I say dip, meaning there was that few years where you're like, is he too one-dimensional? And I feel like he's become a better player. And you know what? Barry Trotz can be thanked, I think, an awful lot for that. Got him playing the right way. But this is more of a Bruins show, so let's get to a couple of things real quick before the game begins. As we're going to try this thing out, and folks, we're not going to probably get to everybody's comments or questions. We're going to try, but there's so much going on. We want to watch the game too, and maybe you and I can listen into how, kind of give you an insight how Razor and I during a game, how we watch it. I mean, that's part of it as well. We want to interact with you guys too, but we're just, like I said, we're trying this out here, and hopefully it's great. So in another couple of weeks, maybe in a week or two, maybe we have another one of these and we do it even better. That's our goal. So just scrolling down right here, we got a bunch of people on, over 70 viewers right now. Hello, Cindy Quick. How are you? I see a hi, Billy. Hi, Ray. How are you doing, Cindy? It's great to have you along. We see Dom on there. Dom, listen, man, if you can't get it in 200 characters, you're screwed. We're screwed. Okay, bud? Let's talk about this. Samer, I believe, is the right name. If Taylor Hall wants to re-sign with Boston, do you see a way in which they can sign him and protect him in the expansion draft? Razor, the way they do that is you don't sign him before the expansion draft. You just tell him, because then he's not protected, right? The meaning he's not. He's a UFA. He can't be picked up. Yep. That's what you do. You just
Krejci, Tuukka, all these guys. That's right. That's how it works. Yeah.
Right. That's how it works. So there is definitely a way to do that. Mark Paradis or Paradise. Mark, I see you join us regularly on Twitter too. Guys, what will it take for Charlie Coyle, to actually drive the net, or is he waiting for the playoffs? Razor, I'll let you take that one, partner.
Well, I hope he's not waiting for the playoffs.
Yep.
I think now is a pretty good time here the next couple weeks, where it looks like that third line is established, is solidified. You see what the top two lines are. You see the fourth line. That's the third line now. Now they're the ones that have to get going. So I think that should help if he can find a little chemistry with those guys, playing more with DeBrusk and Ritchie. But it's a matter of focus. It's a matter of purpose. It's a matter of getting to his game. But I hope he's not waiting for the playoffs, because he's not. You can't play 56 games one way and then turn it on the next one. Charlie, you can't do it. There's some maybe you could say one or two guys in the league can do it, but a Malkin or something. But Charlie Coyles can't do that. So he's got to get to his game. He's got to get those two guys he's playing with, certainly DeBrusk, going as well. He's got to make them better. Eye test
question. Has it been better the last few games, in your opinion, for Charlie Coyle?
Yeah, I would say it's been better. I think he's had a couple weeks where the eye it and then it fell off. I think this week he passed the eye test. I think now it's a matter of building on that. I don't think he's gotten past the eye test week, and obviously that's not enough for a guy like him. What they're paying and what they're demanding of him, just passing an eye test isn't enough. So a good week, I suppose. However, you need to start putting points on the board.
All right, here we go with the opening face-off. I don't know if you just saw NBC had Marchand and Wilson having a little chat. Boy, would I love to know what was said right there. Hey, man, don't do anything dumb. The other guy says the other one, don't do anything dumb.
Yeah.
We would ask Nesson, we would ask our producer right there, folks, to give us that. That's what we'd say, give us that. And we'd have a little fun with that, and we'd wonder. Great forecheck off the start. We'd be talking about how the Bruins didn't start their fourth line here, Razor. And this has got to be a penalty coming up against the Caps. No? Oh, all right. I thought there was going to be there is. Behind, it had to be called a hook. There's no question as the Bruins got in on the forecheck here.
That's a heck of a first shift. And this is what I love right now. I'd love to see them jump over with the second power play unit. We talked about this a little bit the other night. Having a secondary unit, not relying on this first line to draw penalties and then stay out there for 2 minutes, is such a difference maker. To be able to now, they've played 35 seconds. Now you roll Hall, Krejci over the boards, and you go with it. It makes such a difference. McAvoy back there. Now they can get into the game.
And what we would have asked for, and I hope we're on the same space with regard to where the game is at, we would have asked for that face-off win and how the guys helped out retrieving that puck. And we would talk about how, holy shit, Tuukka Rask just made a great save on that Bruins giveaway. And then and that, I'll call it breakaway.
That's a heck of a start for him.
Yeah. So the Bruins have not been great on their entries lately on the power play. I think too slow. I do. I think too slow. Not efficient enough. We're seeing another aggressive penalty kill, folks, too. 2 days in a row. Now, the Islanders, very aggressive the last couple of games, and now you get up top Capital team. Good recovery up high.
And the issue with that, well, they got away with it here. The issue is that long pass to one person on the entry, and then it's 1-on-3. And you don't see that dropping it back and having a regroup and having 3 guys, 4 guys come as one. That's what makes it difficult to gain entry and keep entry.
So I'd like to see the Bruins move it down low like they've just did. They're finally getting the bumper because you're going to see how aggressive the Caps are going to be up top. You've got to move it low and then for opportunities. That way we'll open up the middle ice. If you hesitate and keep it up high, you have a very hard time getting to the middle of the ice. All good power play stuff here now when they finally started moving the puck down from up high to low. Very good, and it's the
keep
first
control here. Too bad. That was a good. And now you get to roll over the fourth line after this. That they seem to have faith in, and everyone's into the game 2.5 minutes in.
Yeah. Good save by Tuukka. Very important. Very, very important to get him with a good save early on. I hate to give up the shorthanded opportunity like they did, but hey, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, right? Make that save, and he did. Dump the puck now if you're the fourth line. And get after it.
The shorthanded, too. Other than Marchand and Bergeron, most of the time the shorthanded players aren't as offensively gifted, so they get chances like that, and they don't necessarily have the ability. It wasn't Ovi getting that pass across where you might make a better play. That's why Bergeron and Marchand are so dangerous.
Oh, my God. The best. Let's see if I'll try and get a couple of questions here. Here's one, Zach Adley. What are the chances Kasha is back by the playoffs? You want to talk about unknown? That's unknown. I'm not counting on it at all. I'm not counting on it at all.
Yeah, what will he bring? You know, but like he could be. You know, you never know. It's the second round, third round. You there's all kinds of history of guys getting in the lineup and having all kinds of energy and. Possibly, you know, you hope that that's his situation. That's best case scenario.
We'll get some more other questions during a TV timeout, a few longer ones. Dominic, I see one in there from you, buddy. We'll get to it.
Yeah, you know there's going to be no whistles in this first period, so we can't get to anything. And once we start talking about one, it'll be a goal or something. And
yeah. All right, here's a whistle. So not a bad start. All right, this is what we would talk about. We would be telling our producers again via, we have a microphone back to the Nesson studio. We'd be telling them this is what we would want from early on. The replay of Tuukka Rask, so square. Man, oh, man. I mean, his body positioning outstanding. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see if we can get one. Another question. This guy, Matt Harnett, my question was, do you think Charlie Coyle can step up today? Oh, sorry. All right. Well, I thought in general. Well, I hope he can step up. Owen Rocket, Bergeron has improved his numbers offensively late in his career to be a consistent 30-goal guy. What do you attribute this to? Razor, I'll let you take that, and then I have something to mention on that as well. What do you think?
Sure. One is the play of the league. It's different than when Patrice started. It's easier to be 30 goals, so he's getting a lot of power play time. He's on that first power play unit that's so good. I think that it's just more of an opportunity thing. When 2011, when they won, he was considered a defensive centerman. He was the guy who played all defensive situations. Krejci was the guy who was getting all the points in the playoffs that year. And I think that's flipped a little bit. And obviously playing with Bergeron or Marchand and Pasternak's allowed him a little bit more offensive flair, a little bit more offensive creativity.
The other thing I'll add to that, all very accurate, I will add to it that his shot. He has worked diligently on his shot. I know that he's had guys actually come into Quebec to work with him, and I know he's worked, extensively with, Kim Brandvold, and his release, I believe the technology he's using, like all players, but his release and the where he looks to get pucks off from different than before. He doesn't load as much. He uses, the new technology to his advantage. He gets it off in front much better, much quicker. As I'm watching this game, at the same time, really nice breakout by the Bruins. Not many teams use their low center as well as the Bruins do regularly. It's been a staple for the Bruins, Razor, for a while. But the whole Bergeron thing, I mean, his release on his shot has improved dramatically the last 5 years. I'd love to do a comparison one day if we had the time to show what it was to where it is now. And his accuracy has improved too.
Two good jobs.
I lost.
Two good entries or exits, I should say.
Yeah, it's been a solid start.
Yeah.
It
Getting Washington on the back-to-back is advantageous today. Looking ahead at the schedule as well, they get the same opportunities against Pittsburgh a little bit later. They're going to get them on the back end of a back-to-back in 3 and 4, as well as the Islanders the next time. So just looking forward with the scheduling, Bruins have a pretty good schedule. I know they have the 2 extra games, but those games are being played after everyone else is done. So they're playing the same amount of games as everybody, and the 2 games that are going to be extra important, I think, they get the teams on a 3 and 4 back-to-back. So the Bruins have a really advantageous schedule coming down the stretch here.
Folks, did you just see, Razor, did you see Corrali work the puck from behind the net, up the wall, down the wall, and everything? Now, Curls is not the most offensively gifted player. I don't think that's, breaking news. But I'll tell you what, that was a lesson in puck protection there, Razor. Along the wall, everything up there, getting himself into a position where he could put his ass, kind of push back the defender, work it up. And that was an extra 12 seconds or so, 10 to 12 seconds of offensive zone time. And while the fourth line play isn't always pretty, that's a thing of beauty. All right, so here we go. We're going to a commercial break here. I got a couple of quick ones. Bruce says, any word on allowing more fans in the Garden? I haven't heard anything. How about you, Razor? Have you heard anything?
No, I've heard nothing.
Okay. From our buddy Dominic, Razor, 99-2000, you were playing against the Leafs. I was there 10 rows behind you. Wendell Clark skated the length of the ice to say something to you. The crowd is expecting a fight. Do you remember what he said? Dominic's going deep in the vault, Razor.
Jeez Louise. I don't remember that. I remember Matt Sundin scoring on me in overtime to lose 1-0 on Hockey Night, or 2-1. We're 6 minutes from 1-0 victory on first Hockey Night in Canada game. They tied it up, and then Matt scored on me in overtime. But I don't remember Wendell, or I don't remember fisticuffs in that game at all. I just remember the last 10 minutes of that game.
Okay.
A long time ago.
So we've talked, you're not a big, you remember some details, but you're not one of those guys that remembers everything, right? You're not, some guys remember everything. I was one of those guys, little points. That was it.
Yeah, no, I'm far away from it. I mean, if you had caught me at the end of 2000, I could probably, after every season, I would have been able to go through every game, every goal easily. That would have been easy. Being 6 years from actually playing, and then it's kind of lost and gone away. Yeah. I'll get jogged with a Toronto Maple Leaf game. Like I haven't thought about that game in a while, but I do remember the ending and how it went. But yeah, I don't remember the
Yeah.
fisticuff stuff.
Here's one
I'm
from
sure whatever
Braden
he
Harris.
said, I said, yes, sir. I apologize, sir. Yes, sir.
He's one of those few guys that is scary as shit.
Oh,
He was, you know.
yeah. And not a big guy, just scary, farm, tough, strength. No one messed with.
Right, and he was so strong. You know, everybody say, "Oh, he moved bales of hay on his own." Right? I'd be
Yeah.
like, "No, he'd pull the tractor that would then move the bales." That's how strong he was. All
Yeah.
right, we're back to game action here. Bruins do another nice job breaking the puck up. They've utilized the short passes well so far. This top line has really started. You know, they've had a nice game. I know we're just 7.5 minutes or so into the game, but so far so good. Here's a question from Braden Herrick. How do you see DeBrusque role moving forward? Started in the top 6 this season, seems to be better suited for a bottom 6. I would tell you, Braden, I see him as a second or third line. I'd call him a mid 6, a 2-3 line. That's where I see him, and I don't see his fourth line as being on a fourth line makeup. What about you, Razor?
No, I agree 100%. And now in this situation where with the wingers that are there, with with Hall on the left side, I can't see him going on to that second line now either. With Smith being the righty, it probably doesn't make sense to have him playing his off wing on the second line, and that's the only place he could really go on that line. So this looks like the lineup. This really does. These 4 lines, if they're healthy, I think this is what they're going to end up sticking with.
I'd agree. Yeah.
The only thing that could change is Pasternak and Smith because of the job Smith did on that top line. That's the most likely option of movement, I would think.
Yeah, probably.
And not consistently. We know that that's not going to happen, but here and there.
Ian Doolin, when Frederick is ready, does he move to the fourth line, or do you not mess with the fourth line right now? Freddie's ready. Freddie's been practicing now. I'm going to say the last 5 days with the regulars. I don't see them changing. Oh, turnover, Bruins opportunity. Craig Shooter-Smith and a nice save. But a nice turnover, being above the puck there. Love the ways above the puck. I always talk
Another
about
good
great
play,
lessons
taking it to the net right away, shooting.
Yeah. I won't mess with that fourth line. And I know that people, they want Frederick's toughness. I love the kid. As his skating continues to get better and better and better, shoot it, Taylor Hall. Shoot it.
There we go. Wow.
All right.
Great shift.
All right. They're bringing it there. Good shift, though. Really good shift by that line. I don't want Hall to hesitate, though. I know he's a pass first guy. People think he's a big time goal scorer. No, he's more of a shooter. Like, I would love to see him rip it. Are you on the replay right now where he had it in the slot? Rip it right there. Rip it. Here's the thing about the fourth line. Trent Frederick, Sean Corrali, folks, I don't have his numbers in front of me. I'm going to say he's 58 or 59% on the faceoffs. He's their only left shot faceoff guy. You need to keep him in the lineup because of that. While Frederick can take faceoffs, he's nowhere near as efficient yet as Corrali.
Bruins high stick penalty.
Right, but did they? What they're saying? They had a high stick, and now they're checking to see who ended up. Was it his own stick or a Bruins? Let's see. Well, that's Cliffy's stick.
That's a high stick.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't change it right now. That doesn't mean I don't want Trent Frederick coming back into the lineup, but I think for now you're going to keep it as is. That's definitely a double minor.
Mm-hmm. Kind of careless too. Jeez.
Hey, Rona McDonough. I hope I'm saying that right. From Ireland. Thank you for being not only a new listener, but from joining us here. We love it. We love it. All the way from Ireland. I know we have Thomas from England. We got another one from England too. I don't remember the name. Beg your pardon. I'm sorry. And then we got Rona from Ireland. We should get some Czech love. Shouldn't we get some Czech love between Krejci and Pasta? And
be.
And Vladar?
Should be. You got to market better over there.
We do need to market better. RC, get on it, buddy. RC's hanging with his mom today, who's a big Bruins fan. Love having her listening too. In the RC's visiting mom back home in the Albany area, I believe, and I think they're both having a great time watching the Bruins. RC's probably working fervently. His mom's probably yelling at the TV.
Do you need me?
No, just saying
Oh.
hi. There's RC. So big power play for or penalty kill, depending on how you look at it. And this is also why I don't think you mess with the fourth line yet. Oh, shit. You got to get that puck out. That's a flub there. That happens. But this is where Corrali's a more efficient penalty killer than Frederick right now. But I think Freddie, when it's all said and done, will be a bona fide NHLer. Oh, there's another OV blast. How many OV blasts do you think you faced when he was younger and you were older in your career?
Numerous. I looked it up. I think he scored 2, maybe 3 on me. That's it. So I'm pretty low on the list. Like, he scored like 25 times on Fleury or something like that. So fairly low on the list. But yeah, lots of games against the Caps. And he was in 05. So I was only 25 when he came into the league too. So nice
Did the
play
puck?
there. Yeah, it was a
really nice
rocket.
play,
Like,
Drew?
he was scoring off
Did
the
it come
rush.
off his stick differently?
Yeah, it came off his, and the way he could come down the wing and shoot it mid stride through legs, more so than he used to be able to do that better before. I think, just losing a bit of a step. Now he's more of the half wall guy, but he was still a half wall guy back then, but he could really rip it off the rush, and he drove wide and drove right through defensemen's, just barreled through everybody in 05 and 2008 when he was scoring 65, 70 goals a year.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was close. He was, yeah.
Look, the Caps have a good power play. They do. They got a good power play. And so you have to expect some chances.
Yeah, and the good news for
But I haven't.
any of those double minors, you want to get through the first that first 2 minute. It's a big difference.
Right.
You get such it's just a mindset. Now, this last 2 minutes is always harder for the offensive team. As I say that, they'll go in and score, but it just seems to be tough to score at the end of a double minor compared to at the start.
Well, I can stomach it better if they score in that it's just a oh shit feeling when they score in that first one, and you're like, here we go now.
Yeah.
The energy that team gets when they come on the ice is really good. Is excellent. Nice play by McAvoy in the corner. Like, to get that puck and then up to the wall. See, some guys would just fire that. They would just wig out and just fire it. Charlie's patience to look, to read, to chip, instead of just go hammer time and then put it back to the Caps was excellent. And then nice. See what it does now? It forces the Caps to reset, and then here they go again. So this is an excellent
such
penalty kill. And now they're going to score. Damn right. That's the way to do it. And to
Unbelievable.
go back to the McAvoy play there.
There they are, these two guys again. Unbelievable. It's bananas. It's every game. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just the hockey sense of Bergeron.
I mean, I just love. And then how about the nice little D play there? Just to chip it down again. Smart play. Who's on the forecheck? None other than 63. Right here. Watch Carlson look. And Marchand stick, folks, to the inside or to the outside. Why is his stick to the wall like that? And I'm not trying to talk down to anybody. Don't take it the wrong way. What I'm saying is he takes the rim play, the wall play away. If he leaves it to the inside, even though that's his strong side raiser being a lefty, that reverse is available right there for Carlson to reverse the puck back. Simple little things or
And then
subtle little
63
things like
blocks
that make
and
a big
Alex
difference.
Ovechkin 1T. Does it all. Does it all.
He does, yeah. Folks ask a lot of times, Razor, if we get, do you really, love the Bruins or, I'm not going to speak for you here. I'll tell you, I'm thrilled when they score. This is my, believe it or not, even though I grew up in Chicago, this is my youth favorite team because my mother's family was all from Boston. So I grew up a diehard Bruins fan, and I grew up a Hawks fan, but not diehard, not passionate like I am about the Bruins. So the fact that I ended up working with the team or with Nesson covering the team ended up being a phenomenal opportunity, but it even means that much more. So yeah, I'm thrilled when they have a good game, when they score like that. We absolutely will give high fives, or I guess pre-COVID high fives, or fist bumps in the booth when they score.
Yeah.
It's more fun to watch a team that wins, and it's also
No.
you know what? It's better for us, as we like to say. And you played for other teams, but I know the Bruins are still
They
near and
are.
dear to your
As
heart too.
go to just watching these guys yuck it up. I always, my wife's from here. My kids are all born here. So this has been home for 20 years essentially. And it's been fun to come back because anyone who is really, talking about 99 and 2000 and 2001 and 03, like it wasn't the same excitement for the Bruins. The big dig was still going on. The Garden was rarely full. Most weeknight games, there was lots of college seats left up top. And so it was a much different vibe. The city was much different back then. So it's been fun for me to come back and have my kids involved and be going to games and see the excitement the Bruins have compared to what it was when I was here. So certainly a lot of fun for me. And when the Bruins win, like you said, it's a better feeling. It's more fun and as close to a fan as you can get.
It's awesome. All right, so a couple of fans have asked, a few different people. So what makes the Bruins penalty kill so good? What makes them so effective? They didn't want to jinx it. I would talk about it. I feel like it's their reads, especially on their I find them to be appropriately aggressive. And instead of always being aggressive up top, I feel like they rotate well, and I feel like they end up doing a nice job. Stick work, especially in seams. They don't seem to get beat on seams.
Agreed. It reads for me. It's their ability to read off each other. That's what makes penalty. You need all four guys knowing exactly what's going to happen in all different situations, and the Bruins have that. You never have one guy that's a little late. If you're just a little late to that half wall pass when your group's being aggressive, that messes everything up for the next minute and a half or however long you don't have possession. And you're just chasing. We're looking at the highlight again. This is also what makes it like there's no reason for Bergeron to be in there. Typically, that penalty kill, that guy, that second forward's up at the blue line waiting to see that first. But he has hockey sense that most don't. He recognizes that they're not in an ideal situation, that they can't spread them out. So I think it's a matter of the reads and their ability to, like you said, just understand when pressure is necessary and when being a little passive, a little conservative is better.
Oh, another great breakout. Great breakout that just happened on this line. And now they're going up the ice with Clifton supporting the play. And they score. What a freaking play. I mean, and what a breakout. Go back, folks, if you have it. Go back all the way to the puck low in the Bruins' own zone. I think it was Riley that started it. The support play was outstanding. And then these four really, including Cliffy, go Harlem Globetrotter like in the O-zone.
Great.
Holy shit. What a nice play.
Oh, it's picture perfect. 200 feet in 12 seconds. Back of the net, tap in. Oshie's doesn't know who to cover. Listen, we started out talking about a yardstick. This is dominant again. This is the third game in a row now that this group has been absolutely dominant and flawless in their execution against teams that are ahead of them in the standings. I mean,
How did they know? How did they not go back to the breakout on the play? They showed the finish 3 times. Like, anyways, that's just my question. If I could put a question on the sidebar, that's what I would put. Good recovery in the
Yeah.
neutral zone there.
No, that's where the Bruins find themselves in trouble. That's the only time they really get in trouble is when their D try and make soft plays rather than taking an ice or clearing it. They try and make that extra little play up the wall. And if they're playing an aggressive defensive core, they can get hemmed in. It happened in Buffalo the other night in the first period where they're making softer plays to the wingers, and it's just an impossible play there for that winger to try and fend off the D and get the puck out. Heck of a start.
All right, Razor, we got a heck of a start. Come up a couple of other questions here. Razor, who was the big voice in the locker room when Ray Bourque left? Who were the big voices in the locker room for you when you were with the Bruins?
Yeah, well, I mean, Glenn Murray always had a big voice. He had been around a long time. Then he had a big voice. Sean O'Donnell had a really loud voice.
I like Odie.
Oh yeah, Odie is the best.
Did you get along with him?
Yep, fantastic.
Sean?
Yeah,
I liked him
really,
a lot.
really
I
nice
really
guy.
liked him a lot.
Good old guy for me. He was he was a voice. Marty Lapointe came in. He had won Stanley Cups in Detroit. He is a leader. Was a leader.
Yeah.
So there wasn't too much of a vacuum. There was Joe Thornton. Obviously, everyone talks about that. He wasn't ready to do that, but that was the expectation.
No. All right, let me see what else. Carey Mountcastle, could Shooter Smith be one of the top free agent signings in recent memory?
Yeah.
Boy, good question. I mean,
are you going off value in dollars or just flat out signing? The Bruins haven't had to make too much of a splash in free agency, right? They've been able to keep their guys in house, and
right.
So to that point,
yeah,
could be. He's a goal scorer.
Recent memory, yeah, he is a goal scorer, and I don't have a great memory, but I'd say recent memory, sure. All right, so 5 minutes remaining here in the first period. Get a couple more questions in, folks. I think we'll go through this first period, maybe some of the intermission, and then probably send up again another great breakout. The wall play to the support play has been outstanding. Do not look past, folks, the value of the short pass. Short passes they look easy when they connect, but they're also usually more high risk because they're in certain areas of the ice where you make them. And the Bruins have been a really good off the wall. Look at Ovechkin there slashing Lauzon. That means that he doesn't like what Lauzon's doing to him. Good for Lauzon. That'll make our boy Dom happy, I know. See, I think where the Caps can be beat is the Bruins do another great job and they get the D involved on the fourth. I think the Caps defensively can be beat. Like their D-men, their D crew. With or without Chara, mind you. Real good play down low by Camp.
Well, and again, it's
for him.
This
I tell you what,
to shut down the Caps, and I think that's why the Bruins have done a good job against them this year. Is they take away their offense, they don't let them get on the rush, and you get out of the zone quickly, like we've seen in this first period. To your point, there's lots of opportunity at the other end. It's when the Capitals' defense is good enough if this forward group gets on a roll and gets in on the forecheck and has shifts like this over and over again. That's when this team's difficult. But the Bruins have managed it well today.
They have managed it well, and they're doing a nice job get it out. Thank you. They're doing a nice job of the old bending but not breaking. look, the Caps are a damn good team, so they're going to get their chances, but they block some shots, whether it's on the PK or at 5-on-5, and they've done a really good job at protecting after that first shot comes. They find it and they release valve it. They get it out. They make the nice play. There goes Hall over the middle, looking all Taylor Hall. Made a one extra move. Good stuff, though. I mean, I just love what we're seeing right now. I mean, you know, long time to go, long way to go in this. Here they're at the bottom. Outside of the Bruins Stars, another one from Owen Rocket. Who's the most valuable to the Bruins in this playoff push or the playoff run coming up? Who's the most valuable? I would say to me it's going to be they got to get the D healthy, and I know that's kind of an obvious statement, okay? But valuable, you know, Carlo, Grizz, and Kevin Miller, I think. Now, I know I'm covering three guys, but Razor, between them and then the third line,
it will be the key, that depth. I think one other one that we haven't seen a lot of not necessarily lived up to the expectation that's set very high is David Pastrnak. I think he's going to have to score.
Yeah, good
he's
point.
going to have to
But
score goals, whether it's power play
right.
goals. He's going to have to score for them to go through this division.
So Mike Riley just threw down TJ Oshie behind the net about 10 seconds ago, Razor. I'm going to tell you something. I did Mike Riley's games in college, and I watched him a bit as a pro for a little while here, there, and it was very intermittent, hit or miss. I never would have expected him to be able to do that like I just saw him do. He's playing with an energy. He's playing with the old
give him the Norris
right now.
Give him the Norris, this guy.
I don't think
seriously, 4 games. Again, I talked to my buddy in Ottawa. He's like, "Holy smokes, did I ever miss the mark on that one?" This guy's the best defenseman in the NHL, and he was the one telling me, "Yeah, he was okay." You know, like we think, Ottawa feels good about getting a 3rd-round pick for this guy. And then I talked to him yesterday. He's like, "Holy smokes, kid's a rock star."
Seriously, all the guys that came here in the trades. Oh, Tuukka, good. All right, they got. See, that's the recovery I'm talking about. The Bruins with nice recovery, and then Tuukka makes the next glove save, and now they're standing. And I love having Tenorti in, even though it's for for an illness, non-COVID. I love having Tenorti in for this game. I do. Grab Hathaway. He's saying, if you want to fight somebody, come fight me right now. He's trying to get him into the fight.
Let's go.
And now Hathaway won't because he knows it'll get his
do
ass
it.
kicked.
Embarrassing him a little bit.
Now, I hope the refs don't give Tenorti a penalty for that. I hope they don't. But all the guys that are coming here, it's kind of like they can't, like they went to like a, I don't know. Listen, it's like, think about this. It's like they were playing for Ottawa and Buffalo. It's like they went from an all-boys prep school to a co-ed school where it's party central, man. They are running around and
they went to the all-boys school in the middle of New Hampshire, and now they're at ASU. Head spinning.
You want to talk about? Oh, they can't get enough.
Well, no, and you know what? I mean, it sounds homerish, but listen, you have to give Don Sweeney and the scouting such a grade A of the perfect fits, right? They identified their needs.
Yep.
As we look at the fisticuffs here.
This is a good segment here by NBC, Razor. That was a good drop in right there by NBC on the replay, because what that's doing, folks, from a TV perspective, that just told the story. So all the folks, I guarantee, are listening to us, partner, are great. Not only great Bruins fans, but I'm guessing a lot of them are big hockey fans. And so they understand the physical play in this series this year, right? So that right there, from a TV perspective, folks, was a great replay segment, we call it a replay pack, when they showed all those fights. It tells the story of what has happened and what could happen. Good for NBC doing that there.
Now it's a matter of getting on this period 2, Rip. 2 good shifts. 2 good shifts here from everybody. Don't let any momentum build. Don't let Wilson knock your head off.
This is a nice repeat or not repeat. I mean, this is what the Bruins
Yeah.
needed to do after last Sunday's.
Yeah, they ran it up on a bad, depleted team.
On a team that was just in a shit place. And it's an offside. That was offside on the entrance, I thought.
They'll be
What do I
looking
know?
at it. There's a goal.
So 30 seconds left. Get the puck out of the zone. Get it in. There you go. Just push the puck in. Nice play by Krejci. And that's a lazy pass by Anthony Mantha. They're going to send you back to Detroit, kid, if you make more of those. Heads up. Oh, and are you freaking kidding me? That is the worst thing that could have happened.
Try to get out of that minute. That's a big goal. Changes everything. It was a perfect period. Not anymore. Yeah, that's a Riley play. Listen, that's
becomes a 2-on-2.
That's and then he loses his
Boy, does that change the tone of the game. McAvoy does not get beat like that much.
Just
Zucker
can't
makes the save.
love it.
Mean, it's a bad goal. That is a bad goal.
Yep, there it is. There's a circle. And he gets beat back to the net by that guy. That's his man, too. So, as I say, Riley for Norris, he just fell out of the top three with one play. But
all right. Well, now, overall,
whoa.
A great period ends. And now don't fall into this prey. Don't do it with Hathaway.
Look at him laughing.
Don't do it. Don't get a penalty.
Yep.
It's exactly what Hathaway wanted there. So here's the thing. Hathaway either has to fight Ritchie or one of the other guys in the fourth line because he's not going to fight Tenorti. He's already shown he's not going to do that. Don't get an extra penalty here, though. Do not give the Caps a power play. The reality is,
I don't want to take it out of hockey, but if you want to gas all this stuff, you have to call a penalty on Hathaway because it's completely blatant. But he's getting them going. That's why these guys are a tough out.
Yeah,
like the whistle goes not even close.
So now listen, Hathaway. Yeah,
yeah. Absolutely.
Now I'm going to say this. Hathaway's doing his job.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, he's doing his job.
All
right, let's hit a couple of let's see if we can get him a few other questions in here. And we can answer some questions here for the next 10, 12 minutes or so, folks, and then we'll shut this one down. I think it's been a great first. I don't want to jinx it, just like the Bruins end of the period. But it's been a great first effort here on our YouTube. And let's see, what do we got? Let's see. Dominic says Lauzon can fight too. Of course, Lauzon can fight. He's a hell of a fighter. Somebody, Dom, will ask Hathaway to fight. They will. They just need to be smart about it. Thomas Mahoney saying they need to come out strong in the second. Yeah, absolutely, they need to. Get in. If you have some other questions, this is the time for about 10, 12 minutes here, guys, that we can rifle through probably a half dozen or so quickly. Here we go. Here's another one earlier from Dom that Pasta's been flubbing one-timers a lot lately. When he does make good contact, he misses the target more often than not. What do we think? Is it hip-related? I can't tell you it's hip-related. I don't know. I kind of feel he's just been off his game. It's been better the last two, but the amount of times that he's whiffed and the amount of times that he has not only missed the target, but not even gotten great contact with it has been striking.
It can be a
Razor,
confidence thing
the
too
last couple of weeks.
when you're trying to be perfect. When I believe last season he's shooting everything, just putting it on net. He's like, this is going to go in. As long as I hit the net, it's going to go in. I think now he's trying to be a little too precise at times, where it forces him to miss the net, or it forces him to try and hit the puck perfectly, have perfect contact, which forces him to be a little late, which makes him whiff on it at times. So I don't see, I can't imagine it's anything too physical. I can't imagine it's a technique thing. He's done it for so long. That doesn't change, or you don't lose that. It comes down to a little bit of confidence and trying to think about it too much.
Yeah. Okay. Here's one from Megan. Why can't Bruce pronounce 48's name correctly? Pasta's working again. Riles, what does he say? Riles down, and he has only been there a week. They don't get the second. Why can't he pronounce 40? Oh, I see. Riles from the nickname. I got you. Listen, I worked with a team with the Atlanta Thrashers. You guys remember them, right? And the general manager couldn't say almost anybody's name right. Milan Nelichka was one of our goalies, and it was Milan Halinka. He said, so I don't know. Some people just have a hard time saying names. And Pasta admitted on the air, that's right, Megan, that Riles is hard with the R, I guess, for him in his Czech accent. William Joseph, Razor, does Tuukka retire? And if not, would you bring him back at $7 million again?
He's not going to come back at
Razor,
$7 million. Does Tuukka retire? No one knows that, but Tuukka, if he's made that decision, I can't imagine he's made that decision even now. He might make that decision in the summer. It's hard to make that decision now and play the way he is. If he had decided he's retired, I think he's already gone. So that's a bad on the fence answer. I don't really have an opinion. I have a hard time imagining him retire, but yeah.
I don't see him retiring. I just don't yet. I see him signing for less than 7 too. I do. I don't know how much less. I'm going to throw out 5, maybe I'm going to say a 5.5 average. You know, 5 and 5.5, maybe 5 and 6.
And listen,
that's just a guess.
Tuukka's extremely intelligent. He recognizes that he can't make $5 million doing anything else. And that's what he's really good at. And I know he has different interests and loves and has ideas of business afterwards, but he has enough smart people around him to let him know he's not making $5 million doing whatever else he wants to do. So.
Right. All right. Hockey beat. Will Tenorti fight Garnet Hathaway? ? Laugh my ass off. I don't know what you're laughing about. In a heartbeat, he would fight him. I don't think Hathaway will fight Tenorti.
No, he'll go looking for somebody else. But and you know what? To be honest, you might not see Hathaway fight at all. He might just keep stirring all night after what he's done in the first. He doesn't need to fight anybody now. If he just keeps stirring and drawing penalties, that's more of the situation right now that his team needs more so than a fight, right?
He's done his job. Right. Jim Louder, did this trade deadline energize and reset the Bruins? I think the answer is yes. Okay. Tom Mahoney. Thomas says, I'll give Tuukka $4 million for 3 years. Thomas, if you're going to give Tuukka $4 million for 3 years, will you give me $1 million for 1 year out of your own money? I would appreciate that. You mean the Bruins may give him that? I think they might. Patrick Norton. Looking back at the Clifton high sticking penalty, didn't Bergeron get high sticked in last Sunday's game and there was no call? The inconsistency is frustrating. Patrick, I got to be honest with you. Because we were doing this chat, Razor, I didn't know the whole breakdown of that high stick. I just saw that it was a high stick on replay. I don't know if one of the officials did or didn't have it, or the linesman told. I don't know.
I would just to add to that, the consistency can be frustrating. Yes, I think everyone should also recognize that as players, it all evens out over a course of a season. You're going to get calls, you're going to miss calls. The consistency can be frustrating. We have so many different angles of penalties, etc. Then we see all the replays, but I think most of the time players just recognize the fact that it all evens out over the course of a season.
Yeah. Dominic, can we start the trend to pronounce Vladar as Vladosh, like Karel Pilash in Toronto? No, Dominic, we can't. We can, but I don't think people will call him that. There was also
Netchcash.
Stan
That's what I was thinking. Old
Netzcash.
Stan.
If anybody, yes, Stan Netzcash. So yes, the SH, the AR in Czech is an SH. I don't mind it, meaning we could try to get it. I don't think, you know, I don't know. It may or may not happen. We'll see. But Dominic says the linesman made the call. Thank you very much. Tim Leonardo, after the deadlines of the Bruins now, a deep playoff run team, or are we still deficient in core areas? We already kind of touched on that, Tim. If they can get healthy, I think there's, I mean, it's so obvious. It's such a kind of a bad answer, but Razor, right, if they get healthy, you know, I think that there's less deficiency. How's that for analysis?
Beautiful.
You know, I mean, thank you. Let's see. John C. Sick lid Razor. It is the Coho lives. I love that. All right, John Thornton. Do you think there's a possibility of Vladar Swayman, Vladosh Swayman, being a tandem in 2 or 3 years? Do you think that that's a possibility?
I mean, it's a possibility, but I wouldn't bet on that. I mean, there's way too many things that'll happen in the next 2 to 3 years. It's not going to happen next year. I can promise that. Yeah. And beyond that, there's a lot of things that have to fall into place to have 2 young goalies at the time. Typically, teams are going to want an old guy and a younger guy, no matter who's playing. So I would have a hard time imagining those 2 guys will be together too much longer.
Yeah. All right, few more. Are you in favor of playing, this is from Joey B., Tenorti all the time over Zaboral? He seems like a better, more consistent player. That's what Joey B. says. All the time? I don't know, bud. I mean, I don't think either of them have, like, stood out significantly to say this one has to play more. I do feel like recently I was wanting to see more of Tenorti, if only because I felt like Zaboral was still very, very inconsistent.
Yeah, and I think the reality is when everyone's healthy, we're not going to see either of them too often, and that's best. You know, that's the scenario exactly that everyone wants, is to have those guys as 7 and 8, and those are really good 7 and 8 to have in a playoff depth run. But to have them both, you know, exactly, you'd rather just see them at the back end.
All right, William Joseph. Billy, would you bring back Richie next year?
I'll answer
that one, Razor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. With what?
I would bring him back. I don't know his contract.
He's too young, right? Is he still young? Jeez.
Maybe he's an RFA, but he's not a UFA. Yes, he's still young. He's still young. So forgive me for not having William Joseph. My cap-friendly stats open right now, but yes, he's coming back. Razor, Mark asks, is it Rask, Swayman, Halak down the stretch, or Rask, Halak, Swayman, given good health for all 3? I mean, I'll let you answer.
It's Rask, Halak, Swayman. Yeah. Halak's got to get back in here, and listen, then, you have a guy if you really need it, but so to quickly get to that, you know, Halak's the next guy up. If it gets to him in the playoffs and he has a bad game like in the bubble, then, or you have back-to-back games like you did in the bubble, then you have Swayman as an option. Unlike last year, they didn't have that option in the bubble, so they're deeper that way, but it's still, you're still going with a guy who's got 500 games, 300 wins, 50 shutouts. I mean, that's who you are going to give the first opportunity to.
Yeah. I'm going to say Vilsky says F or R equals RZ in Czech. My eyes suck. Is it R that he's saying? So sorry, whatever. Thank you for the linguistic lesson. We will keep working at it. Dominic reminds us that Richie is an RFA with ARB rights, which is what, okay, we ended up.
Which is an easy deal to get done. Richie's going to want to stay here. Bruins are going to want him. Though arbitration will just force the hand. It'll make it easy.
Right. So, all right, a great first effort on this. And by the way, can I ask you? I'm going to ask you one more thing. On the level of fault on the Capitals goal that scored with 9.5 seconds left. Where's Tuukka Rask?
He gets the standard 12.5% every goal he gets on every goal.
Okay. So there's some people here and one or two.
Yeah,
say,
Swayman would have
Tuukka's
had
gotta
it. Blah,
make
blah,
that
blah.
save,
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So
What's he
I'm
going to
with
do?
you.
He stops
To me,
Backstrom, and then the
yeah, of
guy
course, and he
Oshie's
made
all
the
alone in front for the rebound. I mean, I mean, yeah.
well, he didn't make the glove save.
He
hold
didn't make
on
the
to
glove
it.
save because
Anyway.
Backstrom got slashed. He wasn't able to read the shot exactly. Bobbled up a little bit. It's hard to make that play from 12 feet away when he can't read the shot off the stick.
Yeah. Yeah. So what a great effort, our first effort. We're clicking between, it was 65 and up 80 people, I think. And this is just our first start. Razor, great stuff, buddy. Thank you to all the listeners, the fans coming on to this today. We want to do this again, but we need to make it bigger and better. And we will. And, Sunday at noon is not an easy time, right? But we'll see. Maybe come playoff time. We can't make any promises. It's just like the mugs. We want to get mugs. We want to get them out. As Razor keeps saying, though, we're not in the mug business. We're going to figure out a way. So we will get better. We're going to do everything we can to get better. You guys keep being the best fans out there. Let's make this thing huge. Razor and I want to keep doing this. We want to keep doing it. We want to make it, when I say worth the while, we're not even talking financial. We're talking about making it to where we're hitting the market, and we are right now, Razor.
Absolutely.
Right? We're feeling good.
And to that, yeah, it's all about numbers and people watching and engaging, and that's why we're doing it. It's so yes, let's keep building. And it was fun today. The ice cream truck's driving past my house. My kids are screaming for ice cream, so time for me to move on for my Sunday.
All right. I had my coffee, my second coffee, and I have bacon.
Little tomato bacon BLT action.
So I'm like my golden
mayonnaise, salt, pepper.
I am. I think I'm going to.
All
No,
right.
I'm not a mayo guy. Can't do it. But I may actually go. I may actually put an egg on there and mix breakfast and lunch together and call it brunch. All right, that does it for Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor live here during this. Have a great rest of the day. Go Bruins. Hopefully they hold on and they don't let that goal at the end of the first period be the killer. Be good, everybody. Hey, enjoy your coffee too.